Chosen soul, drop everything right now and listen carefully. This message isn't for the faint of heart. The universal source has just declared that you will not wake up for days. Yes, you heard that right. This is a divine command, not merely a suggestion. You're being placed in a sacred incubation, a spiritual lockdown, really for your own absolute safety. The forces around you are shifting violently, and this pause appears to be the only thing standing between you and chaos. If you are watching this, it's no accident. The universal source has deliberately brought you here because you simply must hear this urgent warning. Your life is on the edge of a massive breakthrough. However, lower frequency energies and subconscious resistances are trying to stop you. This incubation is simultaneously a shield, a fortress, and a preparation chamber. If you try to fight it, you'll only delay your destiny or risk losing everything. This is an emergency. Please don't ignore this. The coming days will likely feel like nothing is happening. You might feel stuck, trapped, or even profoundly asleep. But this is your spirit being protected from a storm, a cosmic fluctuation you cannot yet see. We're about to unveil the curtain on this profound reality. However, before we fully immerse ourselves in this transformative journey, I gently invite you to become a part of this collective consciousness, to elevate this energy together. Please like this video now, because every single like you opens a channel for this ancient wisdom and universal energy to reach more souls who truly deserve it. To help us carry the light of our community to broader audiences, to expand the rising consciousness family, subscribe right away. And now, perhaps the most critical step. Send your intention to the universe with fervent enthusiasm by typing 7. This potent number is a universal code for spiritual alignment, manifestation, and major changes. By activating its energy, declare to the entire cosmos that you are completely and unreservedly open to these cosmic blessings. Remember, if you are truly a chosen soul, every word of this message will resonate within the deepest chambers of your being, and you will feel an undeniable urge to stay until the very end of the video, to discover every single secret. Who knows, perhaps by adding the code of your city or country to your comment, we can spread this collective energy across the entire world, raising universal awareness even further. Are we fully ready to embark on this magnificent journey of cosmic incubation? Don't blink, don't look away. Your protection, your breakthrough, and your destiny are being sealed right now. Listen closely. What's about to happen to you isn't ordinary. This isn't the weariness from a long week. It's not burnout. It's not mere exhaustion. This is a sacred shutdown. A divine command has gone out over your life, and the universal source is telling your body to rest. But this rest is not sleep in the conventional sense. It's a state of spiritual suspension. It's the moment when the high vibrational dimensions tell your nervous system, be still, I'm doing surgery on your soul. You will soon feel a pull that no amount of coffee, no urgent deadline, no calendar can fight, and the world outside won't understand it. But the high vibrational realms understand. You are entering holy ground. You may try to resist. You may try to keep moving. Your brain might whisper, there's so much to do, but your spirit will shout louder. Let go. The universal source is about to put you into a sleep that feels like days, because it is removing you from time, from pressure, from noise. This isn't a pause, this is a preparation, and I need you to hear me clearly. This isn't weakness, this is wisdom, this is power, this is the universal source saying, I love you too much to let you keep pushing on broken legs. Lay down, I'm rebuilding the bones beneath your dry. This is a sacred, supernatural, scientifically astounding stillness, because when your physical systems shut down, your spiritual systems activate. While you sleep, while your eyes close, your spirit will open. You are about to enter a frequency where high vibrational realms operate. This is incubation, not interruption. This is the womb of reinvention. You're not stepping away from life. You are stepping into the hands of the universal source, and it's going to do in days what would have taken you years. You'll probably feel it in your bone, a heaviness that doesn't come from weariness, but from the weight of glory. You'll set an alarm, but you'll likely sleep right through it. You'll try to stretch, but your body will just surrender. This isn't laziness. This is a lockdown, a holy lockdown. The universal source has sent its universal beings, its energetic guides, to surround your spirit and silence the noise. You're apparently not allowed to wake up yet, because you're not ready to see what it's still preparing behind the veil. Every time you try to open your eyes, you'll feel your soul pulling you back under. Why? Because it's not finished yet. You are clay in the hands of the master, and it is still shaping. You are being reprogrammed at a cellular, neurological, spiritual level. The universal source is rewriting your instincts. It's healing traumas that talking couldn't fix. It's softening the parts of you that had to harden just to survive. This stillness isn't punishment, it's protection. It's permission to stop being the strong one. You've carried so much, really too much, and the high vibrational realms have declared enough. This sleep is the anesthesia of the high vibrational realms. You are being spiritually operated on, and when you try to move but can't, don't panic. Because that means the surgery is still in progress. The universal source doesn't need your strength right now. It just needs your surrender. Don't fight the stillness. Feel it. Fall into it. Let it hold you. Something massive is being born from your silence. It might feel lonely, but it's not. Hiddenness. Section. The universal source is pulling you away from people, from platforms, from projects, not to punish you, but to heal you in private, like a baby in the womb. You're not abandoned, you're protected. No one sees what's happening under the skin, but you're developing. The silence isn't empty, it's sacred. Isolation is man-made. Incubation is universal. The universal doesn't want anyone touching what it's building in you right now. No outside voices, no opinions, no interruptions. You're in a sacred vacuum where the universal source can whisper, and you'll finally hear. The world might think you're disappearing, but high vibrational realms know you're being delivered. You are hidden for healing, because healing this deep can't happen in public. It must be sacred, still, and safe. You're not missing out. You're being called in while everyone else rushes, posts, panics. You are cocooned in glory. Let them wonder where you went. Let them ask what happened. Because when you return, you won't just be back. You'll be brand new. Hiddenness isn't rejection, it's selection. The universal source hides what it values. And right now, it's hiding you because it's preparing to reveal something the world isn't ready to see. Everything around you seems to be shaking, but you are being told to stand still. The world is loud. Social media is loud. Your fears are loud, but the whisper of the universal source is louder. It's saying, be still, don't move, let me fight for you. The chaos out there is real, but the calm inside you is more powerful. You don't have to run with them. You don't have to hustle like them, because the universal source is doing in stillness what others are striving for in stress. Stillness isn't inactivity. It's universal activity without human interference. While the world collapses under the weight of performance, the universal source is teaching you to rest under the wings of its purpose. It is realigning your nervous system, regulating your hormones, restoring your brain chemistry while you do nothing but breathe. This is not idleness. It's spiritual challenge through surrender. Don't envy their pace. Trust your pause. You are on a sacred assignment, not from the world, but from the one who created it. And when everyone else burns out, you'll rise up, because while they were moving in circles, you were resting in the universal source. Stillness is your strength now, Obedience is your oxygen, and when it says move, you will. But not a second before. Right now, you're stepping out of man's schedule and into the universal source's timeline. You're not behind, you're being pulled into a space where clocks are irrelevant and high vibrational realms are in control. You'll notice it soon. Minutes stretch like hours, hours pass like seconds. Why? Because in this realm, time submits to the hand of the universal source. Your healing, your alignment, your breakthrough, it's no longer subject to earthly delay. You're not being slowed down. You're being repositioned in eternity. The universal source is reversing the effects of time on your body. It's pressing pause on the wear and tear life has caused. While others are aging under pressure, you are being preserved under grace. In this realm, cells are renewing, energy is returning. Wrinkles of stress are smoothing in spirit and in body. You are not just resting. You are being reset by timelessness. And that, my friend, is a miracle the clock can't measure. Don't panic when your routine dissolves. Don't fight the flow when your body no longer responds to alarms. This is divine realignment. The universal source is saying what they call delay, I call design. You'll come out of this space with power you didn't earn, wisdom you didn't study for, and peace that can't be shaken. That's the realm you're in now, the realm where miracles begin. You think you're not doing anything right now, but high vibrational realms are handling everything. While you rest, while you close your eyes, while you step away from your to-do list, the universal source is working in your finances. Doors you couldn't open with emails are being kicked down by universal beings. People who forgot you are remembering your name. Debts are dissolving, connections are aligning. And here's the most radical part. You're not lifting a finger. You're about to experience what it feels like to be blessed without burnout. The universal source is reteaching you how provision works. Not through endless grinding, but through grace. Not through worry, but through deep trust and alignment. Your rest is your strategy. Now your sleep is your seed. While you lay down in obedience, the universal source is arranging the contracts, the promotions, the inheritances. It is shifting the soil under your financial flow. You fought hard for every dollar. You've struggled to stay afloat, but no more. This is not the season of survival. This is the season of universal supply, and you're not going to see it because you hustled harder. You're going to see it because you obeyed the pause. The universal source is showing you what it means to be funded by favor. There are relationships you cried over, yearned over, and finally gave up on, but high vibrational realms never did. While you're in this divine stillness, the universal source is healing hearts that hurt you. It's softening people you never thought would change, and it's doing it without you lifting a voice, sending a text, or begging for reconciliation. Why? Because healing doesn't always start with conversation. Sometimes it starts with consecration, with sacred inner work. As you rest, high vibrational realms are sending clarity to the people around you. Old friends who couldn't tent your calling are being given new eyes. Family members who only saw your flaws are being shown your future. Lower frequency energies are being silenced. Connections are being rewritten. And you didn't have to force any of it, because when the universal source hides you, it also handles what's behind you. Don't reach out. Don't chase. Don't reopen doors. The universal source is repainting. This isn't your job. It's its. Trust the process. Let it do the deep work. Because when you come out of this rest, relationships that were once broken will feel reborn. Not because of what you did, but because of what it repaired in the silence. You don't even realize how old your soul has become. Not in years, but in wear. The trauma, the pressure, the daily grind. It aged you. It didn't just steal time, it stole energy. It creased your smile. It hardened your laugh. But that changes now, because what's happening in this divine rest isn't just internal. It's cellular. The universal source is reversing the symptoms of survival. It's restoring the softness of your soul. You'll wake up lighter, brighter, younger. Your eyes will shine with clarity again. Your posture will lift. Your face will glow. Not because you took a vacation, but because you touched eternity. You're being washed in the waters of renewal that don't exist in this world. This is spiritual rejuvenation at a biological level. Your body is catching up with your soul's healing. And when people see you again, they'll say something's different, and they'll be right, because it won't just be your skin, it'll be your spirit. You'll carry peace that makes you radiant. You'll walk with rest that becomes your beauty. This isn't cosmetic, it's cosmic. You are being remade by the hands of high vibrational realms. Your mind has been a battlefield. Racing thoughts, constant loops, fear like static in the background of your life. But in this divine shutdown, the universal source is reaching into the very neural pathways that hold your patterns, your reactions, your beliefs, and it's rewriting them. This is holy neuroscience. The universal source isn't just calming your thoughts, it's reprogramming your mind. That inner critic silenced. That panic button you couldn't turn off. Disconnected. That replay reel of old traumas deleted. While you sleep, while you surrender, the universal source is healing memories, softening triggers, and releasing wisdom. You're going to start waking up with solutions you never thought of. Peace where you used to panic, and clarity that didn't come from trying. It came from trusting. This is not therapy, it's transformation. You'll emerge from this rest, not just feeling better, but thinking differently. The universal source is giving you a new mind, new vision, new mental strength. And the best part, you didn't force it. You received it because the universal source does its greatest rewiring when we're still enough to be worked on. Right now, you're stepping out of man's calendar and into the universal source's dimension. Deadlines don't apply here. Appointments don't control you. The pressure of should have happened by now is being stripped away because high vibrational realms don't run on clocks. They run on kairos, divine timing. You're not late. You're not early. You're right on its schedule. And that's the only one that matters now. You've been operating under the weight of time, watching birthdays pass, comparing yourself to others, feeling like you're falling behind. But the universal source is whispering, I'm not in a hurry, and neither should you be. It's breaking the chains of comparison, rushing, and regret. While others panic, you will pause. While others chase, you'll rest. Because the universal source has pulled you into a realm where time isn't your enemy. It's its tool. And in this realm, time obeys it. It can make what should have taken 10 years happen in it can recover what you lost in seconds. It can aid you in wisdom, not in where. You are no longer a prisoner of the clock. You are under covenant alignment. Let this shift settle deep in your spirit. You're not running out of time. You're being pulled into the fullness of it. You may not realize it yet, but what's happening to you is not just sleep. It's a crossing. Your body is resting here, but your spirit is moving through dimensions. You are being brought before the cosmic throne. You are being shown secrets, given downloads, receiving blueprints. This is what happens when the universal source wants to upgrade your purpose. It sends your soul through a portal to its presence. You may not remember the dreams, but you will feel the afterglow. You'll wake up with ideas that are not from Earth. You'll sense clarity that no book gave you. That's because while you were resting, your soul was walking with the universal source. You were escorted into revelation, You are surrounded by universal intelligence. You are not unconscious. You are in communion. This is how visionaries are born, not through striving, but through surrender. This sleep is access. It's an appointment in the spiritual realm, where instructions are given for your next chapter. You are not lost. You are not gone. You are simply in a place beyond what the natural eye can see. And when you return, you will not come back empty-handed. Yes, it will last days, maybe longer, and it may scare you at first how deeply you're sleeping, how distant you feel from the usual demands of life. But don't be afraid, this is divine design. Your body is shutting down long enough for the universal source to do what only it can. You may feel like you've stepped away from reality, but really you've stepped deeper into truth. Your phone may go unanswered, your plans may pause, your goals may sit untouched, but high vibrational realms are working at a level so far above your old rhythm that the pause will be worth it. You are not being punished. You are being protected from distractions, decisions, and detours that would have derailed you if you stayed awake. So stay where you are. This is holy incubation. The days may blur together and the world may keep moving, but you're not missing anything. In fact, you're gaining everything. You'll come out of this with a new spine in your spirit, a new song in your breath, and a new fire in your eyes. Let it last as long as the universal source says. The longer the incubation, the greater the revelation. Trust the timing of your transformation. Your usual cravings for noise are gone. Your interest in scrolling vanished. Your pull toward people disconnected. And that's not by accident. The universal source is turning down the volume on the world so it can turn up its whisper in your soul. You're not becoming antisocial, you're becoming spirit sensitive. You're learning how to hear again, not with your ears, but with your heart. This shutdown is a clearing of the channel. All the background static that made you question yourself, doubt your next move, compare your progress, the universal source is silencing it. Why? Because the instructions for your next season require quiet. They're not being shouted, they're being downloaded. And you can't receive downloads while you're distracted. The voice of high vibrational realms is precise, not loud. And right now that voice is getting clearer. With every hour you rest, you're not being ignored. You're being prepared. The reason your energy for entertainment, news, and conversation has faded is because your spirit is tuning in to a higher frequency. Something big is about to be spoken into your life, and it starts with silence. What's happening in these next few days isn't natural. It's not rest. It's not a reset. It's reconstruction. This is divine surgery. The universal source is going into the hidden systems of your heart and removing things you didn't even know were blocking your blessing. It's cutting away doubt. It's stitching together broken dreams. It's transplanting courage where fear once lived. You are not conscious of it, but your spirit is on the operating table of high vibrational realms, and the tools the universal source is using are grace, love, mercy, and it is rewiring your default settings. You'll no longer default to anxiety, to hustle, to people-pleasing, to fear. After this supernatural surgery, your reflexes will be ruled by faith. You'll think clearer, you'll love deeper, you'll walk straighter, because it's fixing your foundation. Don't fear the stillness, it's your safety. Don't rush the process, it's your healing. And don't try to wake up too soon, because this kind of work doesn't happen in daylight. It happens in the shadows of surrender. Let the universal source finish what it started. This isn't sleep, this is transformation. And when it's over, you'll never be the same again. The day you open your eyes, truly open them, everything will feel different. The mirror will reflect light you haven't seen in years. You'll carry a posture of peace, a presence of power, a calm authority that didn't come from books or coaching. It came from divine rebirth. You won't walk like you used to. You won't speak like you used to. You'll carry weight without effort. People won't recognize you because the version of you they knew is gone. You'll walk into rooms and shift the atmosphere. Why? Because you've been with the universal source. And those who spend time in its presence don't come back the same. You've been under construction in the spirit, and now you are the embodiment of breakthrough. Wisdom will pour from your lips. Rest will cover your body. Your presence alone will prophesy. Because the universals didn't just rest you, it rebuilt you. You've been feeling the tension, the frustration of not moving forward, not launching, not producing the way you thought you would by now. But let me tell you the truth. The universal source is not denying you. It's enlarging you. It's not slow. It's strategic. Before it fills you with new assignments, it has to stretch your capacity to carry them. This delay is divine strength training. You are becoming stronger in places that were once fragile. Right now, the universal source is giving you weight before visibility. It's putting depth before exposure. It knows what's coming, and it refuses to send you into the next level with shallow roots. You're not being ignored. You're being deeply engineered. This expansion doesn't always look like movement. Sometimes it looks like stillness. But trust this, when the universal source builds slow, it builds to last. You've been asking, why not yet? But the answer from high vibrational realms is, because I'm making sure what's next doesn't break you. The universal source is fortifying your mind, your spirit, your boundaries, your vision. What looked like waiting was really wiring. You are not standing still. You are being secretly strengthened. The next door isn't just big, it's blessed, and you'll need every ounce of this new endurance to walk through it with peace. So take this time seriously. Don't resent it, reverence it. This pause is the universal source's preparation. Every hour of silence is a blueprint. Every moment of stillness is another layer of spiritual muscle. And when it's time to move, you'll realize you're not the same person who entered this season. You're not just waiting for a new level. You've become someone who can carry it. Everyone around you seems to be sprinting ahead. Promotions, platforms, applause. They're moving, and you're not. But what if you were never called to their race? What if the universal source is calling you upward, not just forward? What if the quiet you feel is actually the sound of altitude changing, not absence? This isn't stagnation. This is separation. The universal source is elevating you to a frequency where fewer people can walk. The air gets thinner the higher you go, and not everyone can breathe where you're headed. That's why it slowed you down, not to ground you, but to prepare your lungs for higher altitudes of glory. You're not behind. You're being trained for thin air living. You were never meant to blend in. You were born to break atmospheres. But with that kind of power comes a call to higher consecration. The universal source is raising your standards, increasing your spiritual metabolism, and reteaching you how to breathe differently. What feels like restriction is actually refinement. The higher the calling, the stricter the training. Don't envy their pace. Honor your elevation. The universal source is not late. It's lifting you inch by inch, intention by intention, surrender by surrender. And when you finally see the view from where you're being taken, you'll thank it that it didn't let you run with the crowd, because you were never meant to compete with the men. You were chosen to rise with the few. There are things in your life that the universal source is ending for you because you won't end them yourself. People, places, habits, mindsets. You've outgrown them, but you kept them out of loyalty, fear, or comfort. So now, in its love, the universal source is stepping in to close the chapter you were too emotionally tied to shut on your own. It hurts. You'll feel confused. You'll miss things that weren't even good for you. And that's okay, Because the universal source isn't just breaking connections, it's breaking soul ties. It's removing the residue of what once felt like identity, but was really limitation. The silence you feel now, that's not rejection, that's redirection. It's saying, that door was too small, you've outgrown it. You're not being punished, you're being freed. Sometimes the universal source has to disappoint your loyalty to others, to preserve your loyalty to it. It's not asking for explanations or closure. It's asking for trust, because what's next cannot be built on emotional debris. You can't hold the future if your hands are full of fragments from the past. So let it do it. Let it clear the room. Let it sweep out the people who were only meant for a season. The pain you feel now is not the end. It's the beginning of a clean slate. And trust me, what it writes next will make you wonder why you ever tried to stay where you were. You've always been the strong one, the reliable one, the one who holds everyone else together. But that strength, though admirable, has come at a price. It's made you self-reliant, guarded, silent about your own needs. And now the universal source is stripping that false armor off of you, not to expose you, but to heal you. It's removing what looked like strength, but was really survival mode. You learned to be strong because you had no other choice. You didn't ask to carry that much. But now that you're in its hands, the universal source is peeling back the tough layers and getting to the real you, the tender you, the part of you that aches, that questions, that longs for softness again. You don't have to perform here. You don't have to prove anything to the universal. You can break down, fall apart, be still, and it'll still call you. You're not losing your power, you're discovering your purity. And real strength isn't built by pretending you don't need help. It's built in surrender, in stillness, in intimacy. Let yourself collapse into it. That's not weakness, that's true alignment. And when you rise again, you won't just be strong, you'll be whole. Not the strong one, but the healed one, the honest one, the divinely remade one. You learned to hustle before you learned to breathe. You equated worth with productivity. And somewhere along the line, success became a mask for survival. But now the universal source is putting an end to the race that's been running you into the ground. It's detoxing your soul from performance. This is why you're tired. Not because you're weak, but because your soul has been sprinting for years without true spiritual sabbath. The universal source is placing a divine stop sign in your life and saying, you don't have to earn my love, just receive it. It's teaching you how to live, not just achieve. How to dwell, not just do. How to be known, not just needed. This reset isn't optional anymore. It's essential, because burnout is not your portion. Panic is not your destiny. You were created for rhythms of rest, not rituals of relentless striving. In this stillness, the universal source is removing the lie that your value comes from your volume of output. It's replacing it with truth. You are loved even in silence. And once your soul tastes this kind of grace, you'll never go back. You'll produce more with less. You'll move slower but with more power, because you'll no longer be powered by panic. You'll be led by peace. You were headed one way. You had plans, dreams, even confirmations. But now everything feels off course. Familiar ground has vanished, and you're not sure where you are anymore. Let me assure you, you are not lost. You are being rerouted. And this reroute isn't punishment, it's protection. It's universal GPS recalculating your course to get you to the destination with fewer scars and more strength. You may feel like you're wandering, but high vibrational realms are actually working with precision. The universal source is leading you through the scenic route, not the shortcut, because there's something you need to gather along the way. Wisdom, discernment, endurance, things you wouldn't have learned if life had gone as you planned. What feels like delay is really the detour of destiny. Stop trying to retrace old maps. That path you were on It served its season, but you're in new terrain now. What used to work no longer fits, and that's okay. This is growth. The universal source is not trying to confuse you. It's trying to free you from linear thinking. Life isn't a straight road. It's a spirit-led unfolding, and this twist in the story, it's where it rewrites the ending into something greater. You don't have to see the full picture, you just have to trust the turn. Every wrong way sign was actually the universal source's way of saying, let me lead now, you haven't failed, you've just shifted directions. The path you're on may look unfamiliar, but it ends in favor and rest. Your voice, your real voice, the one that can shift rooms, change atmospheres, and speak life into dead places, it's coming back. But before it returns in power, it must first pass through silence. The universal source is calling you into a season where it quiets the noise so that your voice can be rebirthed in truth. For too long, you've spoken from wounds, from expectations, from survival. You've learned how to talk in ways that please people, but suppress your purpose. But the universal source is purifying your language now. It's touching your tongue like it touched the ancient messengers, burning away lies, shame, and self-doubt. When you speak again, it won't just be talk, it will be transformation. You might not feel like saying much right now. That's okay. The silence isn't emptiness, it's incubation. The universal source is downloading new language, new revelation, new depth. You're not losing your voice, you're learning its true tone. And when it's time to release it again, it won't echo insecurity. It'll carry the vibration of universal authority. Get ready. When your voice returns, it won't be soft or shaky. It will be sharp, sacred, and sure. You'll no longer speak from fear. You'll speak from freedom. And what comes out of your mouth will break chains, not just for you, but for generations. You've been through it. Betrayal, disappointment, pain you don't even talk about. It's natural to feel hurt when others betray or wrong you. Sometimes the pain is so deep that you can't help but wish for justice. But here's the truth. You don't have to take matters into your own hands. The universal source sees everything. It knows the wrongs that have been done to you, and it promises to restore justice in your life. Your detractors may have caused you pain, but the universal source will turn that pain into power. Through this sacred manifestation process, you're not just seeking revenge, you're invoking universal justice. The universal source has a way of turning the tables, of making the very people who wronged you come to regret their actions. Trust that the universe is aligning to bring you the justice and peace you deserve. The beauty of universal justice is that it's not about bitterness or anger. It's about healing. The people who hurt you will either be transformed or be made to realize the consequences of their actions. Universal justice doesn't just punish, it heals, restores, and renews. Your detractors will regret their choices, and you will emerge stronger, wiser, and victorious. The haters, the naysayers, the ones who doubted you, they are about to see a side of you they never imagined. You faced criticism, judgment, and negativity from people who thought you would fail. But guess what? The universal is about to show them the truth. When you take action on this universal message, you're not only changing your life, you're proving everyone wrong. The universal source's power is greater than any criticism. It will take those who have hurt you or underestimated you and make them regret their actions. This is the power of universal justice. As you follow the steps of manifestation, your life will begin to flourish in ways that will leave the naysayers speechless. They will watch in awe as you rise above their doubts and fears. You are not defined by the opinions of others. The truth is, the universal source has something bigger in store for you than they could ever understand. As you manifest your desires, you'll become living proof of what happens when you trust the universal source's plan and refuse to let the negativity of others hold you back.